We're living in very strange times in many respects, but I'm going to tell you about one today that you perhaps haven't considered. And it's regarding e-commerce and making money online. In 2025, it's never been easier to make money online because there's so many platforms online where you can market yourself for different services and products that you sell. The barriers to entry are generally pretty low. And at the same time, you've got access to a global marketplace. Yet at the same time, many people, I believe, are finding it hard to make money online these days because there are so many platforms out there that you can sell your products and services on. The barriers to entry are so low, and you've got access to a global marketplace. And as a result, the same things that are working in your favor to make money online are also working against you because of the increased competition that creates, not to mention, challenging legislation and changes that governments are now trying to implement in this space as well. And so in this video, I want to talk a little bit about this paradox of how it's never been easier to make money online, but at the same time, it's also never been harder to make money online. Let's get right into it. So to start with, there's loads of good reasons why people might start in e-commerce or trying to make money online, whether it's as a full-time job, freelancing, and finding clients and ways to sell their products and service online, or there's people that even do it as a side hustle or a part-time activity in addition to a full-time job like myself. I work full-time. My full-time job is my main source of income. But I've also got income coming in from different streams online, such as YouTube, for example, where you're watching this video now, of course. And so those of you who've known me, followed me for a while, you're familiar with the fact that I'm very into personal finance, promoting financial freedom and security. And that's initially what this started as, building additional income streams to kind of build wealth quicker and to create financial security. And over time, and thanks to hard work and a bit of good fortune, it's kind of morphed into like a mini business, Millennials for Money in a sense. So I definitely believe there are opportunities to make money online. It can be done. I'm not the only one talking about it. I know there's a lot of people online as well that talk about and promote, making money online, starting your own business, freelance things, etc. Anyways, my story aside, let me tell you a little bit about what you might expect if you're trying to start making money online in 2025. So depending on what it is you're trying to make money from, if you're offering freelance services on Fiverr, for example, if you're providing, let's say, tutoring services on a website, the sign-up process to these websites is generally okay. A bit of personal information probably needed to sign up. You might now have to give a little bit about your tax obligations and tax residency depending on where you live. If we take tutoring, for example, there might be certain certifications or proof that you meet a certain standard to be on a platform as well. But even with all of that, it's generally pretty easy, not too complicated to get started, signed up on a platform to start making money. So let's say you're approved, now you're on the platform. The first challenge you're probably going to come across is building up traction and gaining a bit of momentum to get clients and to start making money. Like anything, people want to see proof. They want to be able to trust you. They want to have a relative degree of confidence that they're not going to be scammed or ripped off by you online, because obviously there is quite a big prevalence of scammers, of people, or of bad actors in the online space, let's say. And so this is probably one of the biggest challenges you're going to face, because you're not going to be the only one signing up to these platforms and trying to find clients, customers for services and products. Maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, that wasn't so much the case. There were people signing up to do things online, to offer services, products. But today it almost feels like a lot of e-commerce, online services, freelancing platforms are very, very saturated with the offer that's out there. So it really is a battle to try and get your first customers, your first clients, your first testimonials to prove that you're worthy and that people should work with you. And that's with even talking about platforms like YouTube, like Instagram, that a lot of people want to do, think that it's a great way to make money online, which it definitely can be. But the majority of people will find it takes a very long time to build a following, to grow an audience on the platform. That requires consistent output, consistent quality output, not just uploading content. You need to offer value, substance to your audience and make them want to keep coming back. Whilst there are people on YouTube, on Instagram that do grow their platform very quickly and see a lot of success, the majority of people, it takes a lot longer to grow. You look at this YouTube channel right now, at the time of recording, I'm at about 14,500 subscribers, and I've been on YouTube for 5 years. And it took me a long time, a lot of effort to get here. And so at the start, whatever platform you're on, whether it's Fiverr, whether it's a tutoring platform, even YouTube and Instagram, the algorithm is going to come into play a lot and determine your visibility, your opportunities. And trust me, the algorithm can really make you or break you. It's really important to understand whatever platform you're on, understand how the platform's algorithm works, understands how people get more visibility, and once you get that visibility, how do you draw people in? How do you grow your audience? How do you gain customers, clients, testimonials from that? And algorithms change over time as well, so it's important to keep up to date with how the platform is evolving, what they're really trying to look for and promote with their service, and how that is impacting the algorithm as well. Because you can be really lucky, the algorithm can be really good to you, can put you out there, and then before you know it, you've got a lot of customers, a lot of clients, a lot of traction and audience, etc. Or you can be really unlucky, even if you've got a good profile, you've got a good offer out there. If the algorithm doesn't like you, you're going to stay hidden and it's going to cap your potential. Now, another challenge that's been faced, particularly by people in high cost of living countries, think Northern, Western Europe, North America, for example, is price competition online. As I said in the intro, e-commerce and online platforms has opened up the global marketplace, not just for customers, but for service providers, entrepreneurs, and freelancers as well. And so if you think about like the going rate, the average price, what you would like to charge based on where you're living, your expertise, and what similar people in your area are offering, what you've got to remember is as well, there are also freelancers, entrepreneurs who are based in low cost of living countries who, as a result, can charge less for their services. I think inevitably that kind of globalizes the market, brings everyone into the same basket, and somewhat pushes the prices down because of this price competition. So that's something you do need to keep in mind as well, is that you're not just competing with local players, you're competing globally. You've got a global marketplace with customers, clients, and a potential audience all over the world, but you've also got suppliers, competitors, entrepreneurs, freelancers from all over the world as well. And price can play quite a big factor in people's decisions when it comes to choosing a service provider or a product that they're looking for. Platform commissions can be another challenge faced by businesses, entrepreneurs, and freelancers online. Now, when you're doing business online and you are offering your services via a platform, take Fiverr, for example, or take some tutoring platforms that charge commission, I think you have to be realistic and accept the platform is providing value to you. They're giving you access to that global marketplace. They're providing support both for you as a business and for a customer. They're providing maintenance, upkeep of the website. At the same time, I do sympathize with people though who complain about the commissions of the platform when they feel like they're not getting their money's worth from the service, when the support they're getting is not fair, when algorithms, rules are being adjusted in ways that don't really make sense based on how you would normally deliver your product or service. Like when things become gamified, where you have to meet certain metrics or have certain achievements to have a specific badge or have more visibility in the algorithm, things like that. I think these are reasonable criticisms that people can sometimes have, and it is something you need to keep in mind. You can charge, let's say, $30 an hour for providing your service. But don't forget, if you do 100 hours in a month, for example, that's not $3,000 of pure revenue. That's $3,000 of gross revenue minus any commissions that you've had during that time that have gone to the platform as well. So you are going to take home less than what you expected. You've then got to factor in, of course, any costs associated, taxes, things like that. Lastly, when it comes to the challenges, I can't not mention AI in this video. Of course, AI is an opportunity, but it's very disruptive at the same time as well. So a lot of freelancers, solopreneurs can use AI to their advantage to speed things up, to improve the quality of their work, perhaps. But at the same time, there are people who will just turn to ChatGPT or some form of AI to do the job they need. And in some cases, it may eliminate the need for a freelancer or a service provider to do that. Similarly, on YouTube, there's a lot more AI-generated videos coming out and a lot of what people are calling AI slop just generally appearing across the internet. I don't know about you guys, but me personally, I can look at something that's been written and I can be pretty sure if there's been some kind of AI involvement in writing whatever it is. And I'll put my own hand up and say that I do use AI to write sometimes as well, but I always try and put that human touch on at the end. So bringing it back to what it means for, making money online. Yes, AI can do a lot of stuff. Yes, it has some really great use cases, but it can't do everything. It has its limitations, and it doesn't have that human touch. There's many times as well when it's not factually accurate. I think as much as AI use will continue to grow, as AI will improve, that people will always come back to the realization that there is a need for kind of some human oversight, some kind of human touch, and some human input on what the final product, what the final service is, what the value they're receiving is. I say from my perspective, AI is about efficiency, it's about improving the quality of things. It's not about replacing people. So having said all of that, what do I believe in 2025 and going forward is going to be the best way to make money online in these challenging times. The first thing I'd say is just be you, be yourself and your authentic self. Because as I say, yes, there might be a lot of people offering that product or service, but no one can offer it like you. You are unique. People don't just go for the product or the service. They go for the brand. You know, this is true in everyday life. Like there's people who are happy just buying like supermarket chocolate, for example. At the same time, there's people who want Cadbury's, who want Reese's. You know, everyone's got their own tastes. And while some people will just go for the service or the product at the lowest price, there's people who are really interested in the brand. And online, you are the brand. So if you can sell yourself, sell your brand, the way you deliver that product or service well, I think you're in good stead to make money online and keep doing that. The second thing is to do with the use of platforms. As we discussed, you know, platforms are great in the sense that they give you that access to the global marketplace. It's a way to find clients. It's a way to put your skills, your products, your portfolio out there, for example. But you shouldn't rely on just one platform. One platform's algorithm can change, or you can do something against the terms and conditions of one platform, and you can be shut down, and that's your way of making money gone. My suggestion would be, depending on what it is you're offering, you know, split it across multiple different platforms. But in addition to that, is to have your own infrastructure. That's to say your own store or a stream of private clients, customers that are coming in. And how do you get those private clients or customers? Well, that's using social media. It's using YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, for example. You know, personal connections that you have, getting yourself out there by the word of mouth. You know, it means you don't have to rely on platforms. You've already got a strong reference if it's coming from someone within your network that knows you and can vouch for you personally. And you're not constrained or bound to the rules or algorithms of those platforms as well. People can discover you naturally online. They can reach out to you and you can talk to them and work out something that is beneficial for both parties. And finally, outside of the whole, you know, protect your business, try and grow your business and make money online thing, I think you need to be keeping your money as well. It's prioritizing saving and investing your money. Because as I say, you can do all of this and you can still face challenges online. You know, the algorithm's not going in your favor. There's an economic downturn that affects everybody. And business is slow for a while. You know, working online, making money that way and freelancing is volatile in terms of income. So it means, you know, prioritizing, looking after your personal finances becomes even more important. Having an emergency fund, making sure you invest and save regularly. Maybe if you've got the opportunity to invest in something that provides passive income, you know, leveraging that so that it takes away some of the stress that comes with freelancing and making money online. Now guys, if you found this video useful and you want to explore in a bit more detail the different ways that you can make money online, how to come up with a strategy, how to plan financially for making money online. And I've launched a community called Global Financial Freedom that looks at all of that whilst providing you with practical resources and planning tools to help you not only make money online, but understand different ways you can keep, save and invest more of your money, diversify geographically, as well as look at different countries that are beneficial for setting up, you know, an online business, relocating, and give yourself a better quality of life if you're not happy with what you have right now at home. Got some really exciting exclusive content coming up within Global Financial Freedom. Got a couple of webinars on the cards. One where I'm going to tell you about how I started on YouTube and how I grew to where I am today. Another one talking about how currency fluctuations are impacting, you know, people's savings, people's wealth as they move between countries and across continents, for example. For those of you who are interested in moving to Spain, I've got an exclusive video coming up where we're going to do a case study essentially of a number of different profiles and look at what visa route they could potentially take to relocate to Spain in their circumstance. You can sign up on a rolling monthly subscription, which allows you to have access for as long as you need, whether it's a couple of months, 3 months, or longer, even just 1 month. You can have access to that content for as long as you like. And only through the month of October, I'm giving you a 7-day free trial to have a look, go in, see what the content is about, and then make a decision if you'd like to stay in. I've also opened up a new YouTube membership tier for this as well. So in addition to getting the benefits that come with channel membership or Patreon support, such as an additional exclusive content video a week, or sending me your questions and I'll send you a personalized video to answer them, I'm going to open up the new tier, which in addition to all of that gives you direct access, free access essentially, with the membership being paid via what you're paying on Patreon and in YouTube. You've also got the option to have lifetime access with a one-time payment, and content is constantly being updated, revised, new things are being added over time. So that means that as things change, as the world moves on, you will still have access to that content, that revised and updated content as time goes on. Do go and check that out, guys. As I say, 7-day free trial through the month of October. You've got nothing to lose, and there's a whole load of content that I'm sure will be helpful in there. Leave a comment and let me know as well if you've got a business or if you're a freelancer or solo entrepreneur and you're making money online. We're really curious to hear your perspective on the way things are right now as well. And if you like this video, then check out these 2 videos here, which I'm sure you'll enjoy as well. Next time, I'll see you in the next one, and let's get this money.